Anyway, I'm going to tell you now what this week's how much D&D stuff is there anyway topic is. Novels.
So good.
So good. There's been a lot of novels.
The thing is, like, many people look at me and the life I lead and the conversations that often come up for me, and they say, "Oh, you're a bit of an RPG geek." I was like, "Yeah, a bit of one." And they're like, "Well, that's understatement." I'm like, "Well, really, what I am is I'm a book geek. I really prefer talking about books." And so long-term listeners can put that within the context that this is a very serious statement that I'm making and make their own conclusions about where my passions lie.
Well, we're going to go through all of the novels, not one at a time, in sections, basically based on D&D settings.
Yes.
With a sort of miscellaneous category as well. So I've got all the figures in front of me, but just off the top of your head, what do you think is the most popular D&D setting in terms of novels? I won't tell you right now whether you're right or not. I'm just curious what you say.
Well, it's probably Forgotten Realms, but like my favourite one would be by far Dragonlance.
Mine too.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Dragonlance because, what can I say?
Okay. Well, I've organised this into a lovely little countdown just to make it more fun.
Okay.
So I thought I'd gamify it a little bit and make it into a little countdown. Because why not? Yeah. So what we have here is a graph. A lovely graph, and this graph takes a look at the D&D, official D&D, so this is novels produced by TSR and Wizards of the Coast, based on official, and also official licensed stuff, over the years, going back from 1984 up until 2025, which is this year, and you can see what the official D&D book industry looks like there.
And for those who are listening to this podcast, what we're looking at looks a bit like a normal distribution. There's a touch of bimodality. There's two peaks. There's one in the mid-90s, 94, 95, where significantly over 30 novels per year were being published, which is a lot of novel, got to say. And then, what's that, 06, 07? There's another peak of them. And then it like sort of drops off with like quite a harsh dropping off when you get to 2013 especially, and the release of 5th edition in 2014, where it goes right down until we start getting to the last couple of years, 22 onwards, where it boots up. But we have yet to see a resurgence to meet those mid-30s peaks, which is, as I say, that's a significant amount of novel.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that first peak there that you're looking at there is, of course, a 2nd edition era thing. Along with that was when the big peak for the game stuff, the adventures and the settings and all that stuff. Also, the novels came hand in hand with that. And they were churning novels out, as you can see there, at a rate of, 30, 40 a year. That's nearly one a week. I mean, nearly a novel a week.
You're looking at between 1992 and 1997. That's well over 100 novels, which is like over 100 novels isn't that much, but this is like absolutely wild, especially during this period as well, like the 1980s to the 2000s. There was like a real drought. I call it the Great Book Drought, because there was like a real shortage of genre fiction, which was like just wildly irritating.
Yeah. So we both agreed that we like Dragonlance the bestest of the various novel settings. So Rai versus the World is predicting it's either Forgotten Realms or Weiss and Hickman's Dragonlance books. So out of curiosity, how many Dragonlance books would you guess? Again, I've got the number. But how many Dragonlance books would you guess were published? Novels, not game books.
Oh, there are a lot. What I regard as like the core would be Chronicles and Legends. So that's like 6 right there. And then you've got Tales, a compilation, then there was Tales 2, so that's another 12. So I would say in the region of 60 to 80.
60 to 80, okay. Remember that number.
Okay.
60 to 80. Okay. Rye versus the World in the chat also asked, do we know which is the first Dungeons and Dragons novel to be released? I've got some little facts here, actually. So technically, the first novel published by TSR was technically Dragons of Autumn Twilight in 1984.
Oh, nice.
However, the first D&D fiction published by TSR was a novella written by Gary Gygax under a pen name of Garrison Ernst.
Okay.
And they appeared between June 1976 and June 1977, called the Gnome Cache.
The Gnome Cache.
I have not read it. I cannot tell you much more about it.
Like that second word is Cachet.
Cache.
Oh, I'd say cache for that, which would be like from the French word meaning hide. Cache would be like if you got that's what it's quite important, because like cache means that you're getting like socially increased standing, and cache would be like where you
it's a fast access storage location, a collection of items of the same type stored somewhere, an auxiliary memory. So
like the known cache would be like, oh, well, this is like the social increase in standing you get from being a gnome, which is inherently awful to be. Whereas a gnome cache would be like the treasure hoard of the gnomes, and that sounds like Sorry, I hate to be pedantic. Lying.
No, you don't. You love being pedantic. It's your predominant trait.
And pedantic coffee.
Yeah. So the first D&D novel, 1978. This wasn't published by TSR though, but it was called Quag Keep, Quag Keep, written by Andre Norton by a company called Athenaeum Press.
Wow. They got Andre Norton writing D&D books. Okay.
And then there was a fiction collectible collection called Dragon Tales, published in 1980.
Okay.
So, but the first TSR produced novel was in fact Dragons of Autumn Twilight.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing little fact.
Lance. Yay.
Yeah. So now we are going to go through the various settings and count them down, or count them up really, because we're going to start with the lowest and go to the one that had the most number of novels, and go through them and see how many each of them there are. So here we go.
I must interject at this point to say that the reason that Dragonlance is something I actually know about, despite knowing nothing else about it, is because I got the big collector's edition circa 1993, 1994, which is like, you have you seen them, like the big white ones?
I've got them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've got them there.
Yeah, exactly.
One second.
Talk about. Oh, yeah.
These ones?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Bristol Audio Paperback of Legend. Yeah. And the reason I have that is because my parents made a foolish deal with me at school, which was if I got good grades, they'd buy me a book a month. They did not specify the size of the cost of the book.
Wow.
I guess they didn't feel they needed to.
And you ruled lawyered them.
Well, they said a book a month.
Technically.
I really like reading, like I say.
I guess the question is, though, did they phrase it as a book a month or a book of your choice a month?
Yes, it was a book of my choice a month.
It was of your choice, okay.
I don't think they thought to put it, or it was implicit enough that they felt that was the way to go. Because they are not natural rules lawyers.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, should we start this countdown, this fun countdown?
We should. Let's go.
So we're going to start with Planescape. There were 5 Planescape books.
And we're looking at Pages of Pain by Troy Day.
Yes, that's an example, an example of what a Planescape book might look like.
Okay.
So yes, Pages of Pain is one of those 5 Planescape books. So that's starting at the bottom. That's the setting with the lowest number of D&D novels.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Wild to me, but okay. Yeah.
Okay. So next, we're going to look at Birthright.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Birthright had 6 novels made for it. You can see the Iron Throne there, but there were various. There were 6.
Do you know anything about Birthright?
I am very unfamiliar with Birthright. It's not a setting that I either bought, either played. I basically know it existed.
Like from the
pretty
cover
much all I know.
From the cover of this book, I would say it's like maybe supposed to be like pseudo-Arthurian because of the like all the guys in metal armor, but
it was a setting released in '95, based on the continent of Cyrilia, in the world of Abrinis. How I love reading out fantasy place names. And you take on the role of divinely empowered rulers with an emphasis on the political level of gameplay.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. All right.
Fun stuff.
Oh, political D&D. Interesting.
Yeah.
Again, that's like really baffling to me. Like Planescape, you've got infinite planes. That feels like there's all sorts of stories you could just keep churning out stories and then whack Planescape on the front and call it good. Birthright, you've got like politics. Like, sure, you could basically have done a whole Game of Thrones and finished it, obviously, and whacked it in the Birthright and also called it good. So just baffling to me. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
I guess some of these were, just they'd start a line and some of them would just like explode and some of them wouldn't, perhaps. I don't know.
You hit, you miss. So I guess the ones that were selling best got more books, maybe.
All right, the next one on our list is Spelljammer.
Ah, yes.
There are 7 Spelljammer novels over the years. We can see the Broken Sphere and the Ultimate Helm there, but there were 7 of them.
I really don't like the cover art. I would not have picked these up.
It's quite cartoony, isn't it?
Yes, it's
a definite style. It's a definite style choice.
Yeah, you know what? It sort of reminds me of like a glam rock album cover.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no. This saying it's going to be trippy and psychedelic. It's not for me. Whereas from what I actually know about the Spelljammer setting, I'm like, yes, give me more Spelljammer. So, like, I don't know. I cannot say because I've never read these books, but it feels like there was a bit of a misjudgment between what the cover is selling and what the setting's about. But I've never played Spelljammer, so we can hope.
Okay, next on our list is Greyhawk. There were 15.
Nice.
15 books. We can see the Master Wolf and Artifact of Evil there on the.
We've got a Gary Gygax book as one of the options. What's that? Artifact of Evil?
Evil. Artifact of Evil. Yes.
And Master Wolf by Rose Estes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about Greyhawk, so I hear it's very popular.
Yeah. Okay. Mystara is next. Again with 15.
I thought that
We've got Dragon King of Mystara and Dark Knight of Karamikos on there. Again, same as Greyhawk. 15 books. I mean, these numbers are going to start getting bigger in a minute. But 15 books for Mystara.
They do have big dragons on the front, and for a certain sort of reader, that is just like a guaranteed sale. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't really tell you anything about Mystara from looking at that because it's just like it looks like, I hate to say it, generic fantasy, which is
it was. I mean, we did do a bit of a deeper dive into it 2 weeks ago when we covered the settings. But Mystara basically was the first kind of D&D published setting in the sense that at first it wasn't named. And all of the sort of older D&D modules were just kind of assumed to be in the same world. And then eventually, in an issue of Dragon magazine, they eventually named the world. And Mystara had the known world and the hollow world. So there's a hollow world with a world inside as well. And And it eventually got names and said, right, this sort of like assumed implied setting is called Mystara. So it was around for quite a long time without actually being codified anyway.
Right. Huh.
But eventually it was. So, it was quite a major setting. It just didn't sort of have this sort of big marketing kind of logo and this Mystara branding that everything else had, because it was all kind of implied rather than up front.
Oh yeah, it does have like a little Mystara logo in the corners, but
but that came later.
Right. Oh, it's like a sort of a embroidered M. It's an M with like lots of like little leaf patterns or something.
It's like that sort of got a coat of arms kind of vibe to it as well.
Yeah, like I mean, it feels kind of emblematic that they're like, oh yeah, just like try and do like a coat of arms, so make sure it's got an M, and like a lack of clear vision, I feel, is perhaps part of its problems. Sorry, I'm being really mean about this setting that I've never looked at, so sorry. Naughty. PJ.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm wearing these glasses and they don't have a proper hook over your ears, so I'm finding they're not staying in place. And I'm not really used to wearing glasses, so I always find them really uncomfortable anyway. But I have to, like, occasionally, because normally I wear contacts, and like once a month I'm supposed to take a few days off. And I kind of have to make myself wear glasses for a weekend or something, which I always hate doing, but hey, such is life. Thoughts and prayers and all that, struggle on. Anyway. So next on the list, we have Dark Sun.
Oh, yes.
There were 16 Dark Sun novels.
That's Troy Denning. That's the name.
Yes, Troy Denning. Yeah. I think Troy Denning wrote either all of them, if not a large number of these.
And these
so there were 16 of those.
These are like the covers that I've seen and associate with Dark Sun.
So, yeah, they're quite, especially that one on the right is quite iconic. The Crimson Legion, that's quite an iconic Dark Sun image.
For those listening at home rather than watching, it is a guy who's basically like a bald Conan the Barbarian style chap. Except
I'm assuming he's one of the half giants. I think they call them they've got a name. Moles or something?
He's basically wearing sort of like a Mad Max style fetish bondage wear style armor.
The moles are human dwarf. Half human, half dwarf, sorry.
Okay. Well,
and they're called moles.
Moles, right. Well, if this is a mole, then they have no discernible body hair for reasons. And you can definitely make an educated guess about that because there's a lot of skin on the show. He's got some sort of is that like a pair of maces on the end of a chain? Yeah, it's like a deeply impractical fantasy weapon, which will ignore physics, practicality, the whole nine yards. But it does look, I will say, extremely cool. Not functional, but very cool.
There's certain values of cool, yeah.
I value the aesthetic, even if not practically, it's just not going to work very well for you.
Okay, right. Well, now we're on to the next one. The numbers are starting to go up a little bit now. So Ravenloft is next. Yes, how many novels do you reckon there were? Ravenloft novels were there?
Does Ravenloft include the Greater Domain of Dread sort of vibe?
Yes. Yeah, the various novels were set in different domains.
Let's say about 40 then.
Ooh, not quite. 24. There were 24 Ravenloft novels.
I was just rubbish then.
Well, yeah, you were just guessing. But, of course, Night of the Black Rose, I know you've read, because you've mentioned that before. One featuring Lord Soth. Have you not read it?
I mean, I know that he is a Knight of the Black Rose, and I've heard about it, but, I pick up a lot of stuff from Inference, from reading Dragonlance.
Okay. So, yes, one of the Ravenloft novels was basically Lord Soth goes to Ravenloft.
Right.
And then has a bit of a tiff with Strahd, because he ends up in Barovia. And they kind of fall out a little bit. because they're basically both of equal power, sort of thing, and they kind of fall out. And then Lord Soth ends up getting his own domain called Scythicus in Ravenloft, before eventually ending back in Kryn years later. And I think Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman say that didn't happen. I don't think they like the idea that Lord Soth went and spent a whole lot of time ruling a domain in Ravenloft. I think to them they say that's not Lord Soth canon. But hey,
I mean, if you want to be Lord Soth canon, they literally can't stop you. So you do whatever you like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is actually one of the ones I've read. Well, not Istrad. I've read Istrad, not this one, which says it's the War Against Azalin. It's by P. and Elrod. And I have to say, having played Curse of Strahd, the 5e D&D module, I was not expecting Strahd to be quite such a whiny vamp cell. Which, for those that sit at home, is a portmanteau of the word vampire and incel.
I think we got it.
Goodness. Well, I like to be clear when I'm casting shade from a great height. Because oh my goodness, what a whiner! It's like, look, she's not into you, man. Just accept it. You are the lord or whatever. Get on with it. Do something better with your life. Just it's like just so creepy and
it's hard work being a vampire lord.
You
don't know the pressures he's under.
Istrad is before he's a vampire lord. He was whiny beforehand, and then
that's before he was even a vampire.
Before he was even a vampire, this is how he became a vampire.
Right.
Then, so it's like he basically makes a series of deeply unforced errors, basically because he can't stand his younger brother being better at anything than he is, and also because, like I say, he's very whiny and very impressed with himself. And then he goes on a centuries-long pity party. Which I have to say is pretty good for setting him up as a villain, but he's not. I wouldn't describe him as a romantic figure. Put it that way.
Okay.
I mean, maybe that's just me, but
I mean, he's basically Dracula, isn't he? It's the same story, pretty much.
No.
Well, the whole long lost love sort of thing, and living in a castle it's very Dracula.
Look,
Barovia is very Transylvania, very sort of movie Transylvania.
No, absolutely. But Bram Stoker's Dracula, which, if we're comparing books to books, Dracula is basically this guy with hairy hands. I think hairs in the palm of his hands or something, and he's a funny looking fella, but he does definitely have charisma. And he's definitely sexually magnetic, and you cannot describe. You would have to have a very strange view of women and relationships to describe Strahd as having sexual charisma. Oh my goodness! No, seriously, it's an experience to listen to. I can't recommend it, but if you're, I know some people enjoy terrible fiction. I apologise to P&L Rod. I know you're a big fan of the show, but it's actually no, I don't apologise to P&L Rod. You did an amazing job of explaining how this guy is a villain, because he's just awful. Complete, he's not an anti-hero. He's just I don't know. Yeah, he's just dear me. He's awful. And
so there we go. That was Peter's audio essay on why Strahd is an incel, basically.
Vamp cell.
Okay, fine.
We should make this happen.
Fine. Anyway, we got more books to talk about. We've got Eberron next.
Woo!
Eberron. Now, bear in mind, Eberron came very late in the day compared to some of the others. It wasn't around during the second edition explosion. It was a third edition setting when, as we saw from that graph, the whole novel thing was starting to wind down anyway. Even so, Eberron managed 39 books. I had no idea there were 39 Eberron. In fact, I don't think I've ever actually seen an Eberron novel in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they exist, but I don't think I've actually seen one.
I think I've seen maybe Dark Sun, and I'm pretty sure I've seen Greyhawk, because and maybe in person, I wouldn't have picked them up because like there was a lot of stuff that looked similar that wasn't very good. But I've never seen Eberron. I've definitely never seen this logo. I had no idea.
Well, these are actually written by Keith Baker, which makes you think, okay, I should check them out then. I should check them out because
like I'm prepared to believe Keith Baker makes a good storyteller.
Keith Baker, of course, being the creator of Eberron, the creator of the setting. Yes.
Yeah. And also the games as well. He would like to let you know. Recognizable by his fantastic cat dish at a convention. Yeah.
Right. Next, we have a created category called Gamebooks here, and this is essentially things like Endless Quest and stuff like that, which weren't really sort of one specific line because there were different ones, but I've put them together into one category.
Are these like choose your own adventure sort of jazz?
Yeah. So we've got a couple of Endless Quest books here, but there were lots of other ones as well. So
there's Rose Esteth again, and Matt Forbeck.
Yeah. So we actually looked at that one, Into the Jungle by Matt Forbeck. I think it was that one. A few years ago.
I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's the one where you go to investigate a goblin village, and the whole village gets like snared up into a giant catapult, and you're yeeted at something.
I seem to remember getting caught in a catapult. Yeah, it might not have been that book, or maybe it was that book. It was one of those anyway by Matt Forbeck, one of the recent ones. But also there were things like the Fantasy Forest series, which was aimed at younger kids. There was the Heart Quest series, which were kind of more romantically themed. So there were a whole few different sort of game books and game lines. Super Endless Quest. There was the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons adventure game books, including things like Test of the Ninja, set in historical Japan. I don't know how historical Japan actually was, but I never played it. I can't tell you one way or the other, but I'm sure it was very, very historical.
That was your merchant or fruit seller making a way around. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a whole load of them. There's lots of different ones. So they did a whole load of game books. They did 73 different game books over the years, and some of them as recently as like a couple of years ago with some of the recent Endless Quests by Matt Forbeck. So they've kept that going. Yeah. Okay. So that was game books. Next, the next category is it's Dragonlance. Okay, how many did you say?
I did say 60
to
60.
80. You said 60. Okay, are you ready?
60 to 80, because I guess in range. Yeah, go on. Show me.
209 Dragonlance books were published. Novels.
Woo.
That's a lot of novels. And I think I read quite a lot of them. Definitely, I did not read 209 of them, but I probably read like 30 or 40 of them, I imagine, as a teenager. I think. Maybe more. I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, because I think they did keep going over the years. That's probably why I was like quite so far off, because they had Dragons of Summer Flame, which I'd quite forgotten about. I
wasn't so keen.
I've
got it right there. Yeah. I've got my Dragonlance section here. I've got a whole bunch of Dragonlance stuff there. But 209, I just did not see that. I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking similar to you. I was sort of thinking around 60-ish.
I mean, 60 to 80, right? For those listening at home, that is a lot of books. These are actual full-length novels.
It's hard to emphasize just how big Dragonlance was for TSR in its heyday. When we were looking at the settings and the products produced by setting, there was so much produced for Dragonlance. There was this big block on the graph that was all Dragonlance, just solid Dragonlance, loads of it. And then it all just kind of died off when 3rd edition came out. Like through the late 80s and the 90s, there's so much Dragonlance. And then come 2000, Wizards of the Coast buys TSR, 3rd edition comes out, and Dragonlance just kind of fades away.
I will say this is also one of the only books which I was reading in public, and someone else came up to me and said, "Oh, I read those when I read those. They were quite good." So there you go. Yeah, and that doesn't happen to me very much because of the volume of books I read. I do like my obscure ones, but I was reading like the big old collector's edition, and someone recognised it and came over to say to me about it. So there we go.
Yeah,
but
I do like my Dragonlance books. See, I don't have nearly as many as I used to have. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, probably about 20 soft covers there of various ones. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 big hard covers. And I've got the Legends and the Chronicles collections there in soft cover and hard cover for some reason. God knows why. So I've got quite a few Dragonlance books up there. Quite a number.
Yeah, like, I mean, the thing is, right, and even speaking as a fan, not all of them were of equal quality.
Agreed.
Yeah.
To be honest, if you go back and read Dragons of Autumn Twilight,
I tried. I was super keen. I really
I still
wanted
love
to.
it. Don't get me wrong. I still love it.
Right.
But it is a harder read sort of 30 years later.
When you're not a teenager and you've read other books and you're like, oh, wow, some of these characters barely passed the character test.
But even so, I still love those characters, though, despite that.
Yeah. Not like Goldmoon and Riverwind.
There is no character.
But like,
literally a character with literally no personality whatsoever. Or
like if it was a role-playing game group, these are the people that like never say anything or are on their phones, and then they just wake up when it's their turn for combat.
Right, when it's Goldman's turn to heal somebody, basically,
Pretty much girlfriend who's come along to play a healer, just spend more time with her.
You could be the healer, do I have to be the cleric? Fine. I'll just sit here. Let me know when you need me to be touched with a staff or something. I don't know.
Her knitting. I mean, she did get some quite good stuff, like getting, slight spoilers, like getting the holy scriptures, the discs of Mystara. That was like pretty good. That was like a real nice spotlight moment. So not like Riverwind. But the main cast are really like people like Taz, Tanis, Flint, Sturm, Caramon, and Raceland, and like Tika is there, sort of like doing maybe a little bit of comic relief, which is a bit harsh. We got Kendra at the party, and then we've got the whole thing with Tanis and Kitiara and her boots, which I must say did make quite the impression. It was an evocative piece of writing.
I don't remember that.
Well, there we go.
Obviously, different things stick in different people's minds, I guess.
I know, right? He got kidnapped. Kidnapped. He was held hostage, and listeners at home will have to imagine the inverted commas that came out there, which basically meant he was shacked up with her in a city, but because she's a dragon high lord. Anyway, enough said.
Anyway,
let's move
on. We're on to the last one.
We've got the last We've got the Rorna. Anyway, so Dragonlance, great series. I would love to see more. I'd love to play more of this, but I'd have to run it. Oh, anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Anyway, Forgotten Realms is our final setting, the one with the most books.
Oh, yeah.
We have got 302 Forgotten Realms books. That's a lot of books.
A small difference. It is a lot of books and like just a wild amount, but compared to 290 from Dragonlance,
209, not 290.
That much of a
209, not 290.
Yeah, but it's like 90.
So it's 100 more. There's 100 more.
109. Wow. Yeah. But 33%.
So I've forgotten Realms books I've read. The only ones I've read.
I don't think it's that big a difference, especially because.
Yeah, the only Forgotten Realms books I've read are the Drizzt Do'Urden ones, which I believe I also have up there. I'm not seeing them right now, but I can see the Halfling's Gen Crystal Shard, so I can see those ones there.
I've read the Crystal Shard. I've also read Dark Walk over Moonshade.
I haven't read that.
And it's pretty forgettable, to be honest.
Crystal Shard. Homeland. and Exile, that Drizzt trilogy set in Menzo Brandon, which I think Homeland was probably my favourite Forgotten Realms book. Out of the few that I've read, to be fair. I've also got one here. I don't even know where this came from. I've never read this book. I didn't even know I had it until just now. Canticle. The Cleric Quintet. Book C. Book C? Oh no, it's ripped off. I think it says book 1. Maybe. I'm not sure what it says. But yeah, so it's another one by R.A. Salvatore, but I've never read this book. It was on my shelf. I don't know what it is. But there you go. I've got something to read now. Anyway, that's the Forgotten Realms.